King Charles III has officially been announced as Britain's monarch in a ceremony steeped in ancient tradition. Senior politicians and government officials gathered at St. James Palace in London for today's Accession Ceremony. It's the first time the ceremony's been held since 1952. That's when Queen Elizabeth took the throne. Charles automatically became king when Elizabeth died on Thursday. Dean Nick Allard, the Dean of Jacksonville University's College of Law, is joining us now to talk about this. And Dean Allard, you just returned from London and Cambridge. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what your connection is to that country?
Well, for years, because I studied and have worked over there and have close relationships with the top academic institutions, I was just there this week, just a couple of days ago, for 2 quick days. We had meetings where we were exploring collaborations for the people of Jacksonville and Jacksonville University with Oxford University, Cambridge, and the Rhodes Scholarship Trust, and so on. And I'll tell you, it was a surprise to have this news when we came back.
Yeah, you know, it makes you think about the passing of Princess Diana and the outpouring of love and support, and just, it was so difficult. This is a little bit different because she was 96 years old, but this is the end of a magnificent era. You
described that well. She's been in charge as the Queen for as long as all of us have been alive and longer. So it's really remarkable. And, you know, it's never a surprise, much of a surprise when a 96-year-old passes. But still, in this case, we had just seen her the day or 2 days before welcome the new Prime Minister, and she looked active and fit.
You know, and she was very well known for her stoicism. And she did not get involved in politics at all, as the monarchy is not supposed to, right? But we do know that Prince Charles, now King Charles III, does have some activity in that area in terms of climate change and things like that. Will we see a difference, do you think? Will we see some politics creeping in with this new reign?
Well, the Queen, first of all, a tribute to her. She was incredibly influential and had an impact, and often she was a remarkable woman because, you know, the time she started, there were no men present at her proclamation ceremony, for example, no women present at her proclamation.
Yeah.
And she, despite limitations on women and other challenges, personal tragedies, managed to have an impact politically too, because but behind the scenes and quietly, sometimes she was most influential and loudest when she was at her quietest. Now, her son, Prince Charles, who's been the longest understudy in any of our memory, he's as ready for the job as you can possibly be. And already it's very interesting that he seems to have filled out and stepped up, almost like, you know, Shakespeare's Prince Harry, who became, he was a rascal and a wastrel as a young man, he became a great king. So we'll see, but he does have positions that climate change is one, and he may not be shying away, but he's announced already that he's not going to be political, and, you know, that's for the elected people. Bottom line, England is a constitutional democracy with a monarchy, and that is a paradox and a bit of a mystery, but it seems to work.
And he's 73 years old. So,
young man.
So we'll go with that. But Prince William now is got to seriously be thinking about how he might fill his father's shoes.
Well, first, I believe that Prince William will understand that his family has good genes, and they tend to live for a while. So he shouldn't be counting his chickens before they come home to roost. But he seems to be working, and he's also been preparing his whole life for service, as is Kate. So he is working actually very collaboratively with his father, King Charles III. And again, Charles seems to be almost a different man than he was. You know, as a young man, he had a bit of a reputation as a playboy. He's had other issues, and he's been up and down, but right now he seems to be stepping up his game.
Just so fascinating to watch.
It is. Well, for Americans, it's hard.
Oh, yeah. Dean Allard, thank you so much
for
your insight this morning. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.